what do we have here? You. We have you because you made it to another edition right here on Energy Lounge. And for that, I congratulate you. Congratulate yourself by giving yourself a like right there on this video and appreciate yourself for reaching this edition. I am your host, Simon Says. And today, right now, I got a person who actually talks about money, 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 money. He loves that money. He likes even you guys to understand how to use that money, how to spend that money. But the one thing he has never done, he's never spent that money to get any head or any hair on the top of his head. That is one thing that Amos guy has not done. But Amos, thank you so much for joining us right here on NRG Lounge. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm good.
Mentally, are you
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Mentally, how are you? Generally, mentally, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you say you're mentally good right now?
Why or when?
Why? Why would you say you're mentally good?
Because I feel like the decisions I'm making today are intentional, and I think I've prepared for them. Yes.
And that's a key thing, even preparing mentally, the decisions that you actually make. That's a key thing, even when it comes to finances. And now, money aspect of things. What in the world drew you to talk about money in the first place, by the way?
Well, I think going back to childhood, the way your parents are there, but there's always something that they won't achieve, and then it comes to your generation. Not that there's no money, but you can see there are some habits that have slowed down any of the goals that you want to achieve. And then working for a sales company, I realized that we would sell some investments to clients, but then they would fall off over time because they did not get the right advice. So that's how I started the journey 16 years ago.
16 years ago, even,
Yep.
and even us, even us men, one thing I want to discuss, even us men, our relationship with money is a very interesting journey. Even now, I want to know, like, what was that little breaking point that said, okay, cool, me as Amos, I need to have a sit down with myself and actually now see where is my money going and what am I doing with it?
Well, sometimes it can start, and for me it was through seasons. That time that you're at a place whereby you're making good money, but then for that season, there's nothing much you've accumulated, meaning that I was not prepared for the season of plenty. And then with the scarcity, when the resources were scarce and you're in another season when you don't have enough, you're broke. Now you are handling it wrongly. I mean, so there needed to be some sort of preparation for all the seasons. And that's why probably for me, I am very intentional even about talking to people about money seasons so that you're preparing for all, because I don't know about your tomorrow.
True, we never know about tomorrow. Even that's why they say, if you get that money, you spend that money, because you don't know about tomorrow. Someone else can use it also in a negative way and actually say, yes, even because we don't know about tomorrow, why not blow all the money today? What about that mindset of you only live once? What about that?
Well, there's nothing wrong with you enjoying. I tell people, when you look at my personality, when it comes to money, I'm a spender. But can you live that life sustainably? You don't want to enjoy today and come the end of the day, you can't enjoy. Yeah. You don't want to enjoy now as a man and then after retirement, you're relying on your kids. So you see, you have to understand that this is the lifestyle I want. This is what I want to achieve. This is the kind of shoe I want to wear. But I don't want 10 years from now, I cannot afford it because I planned poorly for my later life.
And that's a key thing, even when you talk about a lot of men. Yes, you men out there, nyinyi. Now listen, what is one thing that you've actually seen is a big issue amongst us men when it comes to now, when we get a little bit of money and we start feeling it, and then now we're like, oh, okay, what is the one thing that we actually don't have the discipline enough to even use our money productively? What is that biggest mistake that you see?
There's something called borrowed confidence.
Borrowed confidence?
Yes.
Speak that again.
So borrowed confidence is what you allow to define you. Take for instance, most men naturally we are providers. You love it when you see your child, enjoy something you bought for them. When your woman is, you've sorted out, she wanted something and you can be able to provide. Your parents, you're taking care of your parents, they are unwell, you can be able to foot their bills,
Yeah. You're reliable.
You're reliable, and that is what a lot of men thrive on. But you see now, when you don't have it, it becomes like you're sick, you're mentally unstable, you become a money avoider. There's a personality called money avoider, whereby you don't want to have conversations regarding money, especially when you don't have it. So borrowed confidence will come from, let's say I was we have seen it a lot in sports.
Yeah.
I was thriving in a certain sport. I was a big name, and then probably I picked an injury
And things went.
south,
Yeah.
and you can no longer be able to play. So your fame, you're just like a has-been. You see, but because you did not prepare for this other side where you are, so the day it hits you that nobody really cares, that's why you're going to realize how borrowed confidence. The interest rate is quite high.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
exactly.
you will lose everything, and it becomes hard for you to cope.
And nobody wants a broke man. Is that the truth?
It is true. Other than your own mother, even your own mother will still change titles when you go home. You remember, there are roles that will not be given to you if you're the main. If you're the person who gives the main support. But all that said, I feel like we need to understand as men that we are not competing with each other. We people are with us for certain reasons and seasons. At some point, they will leave.
Have
You
you
know?
cut people off?
Oh, sometimes people just fall off. You go broke and see how many calls you'll
Of
get.
course,
You know,
yeah.
and it happens. So we have to prepare for all these seasons, and also understand the only person who wishes that you do much better than them is your father. Yeah, anybody else is competing with you.
Everybody else is competing with you. And then why did you say competition is bad? Isn't competition also a good thing? At times, even it can fuel your ambition to actually want to do more.
But you see now, most men, we feel like we have a lot to prove. You've grown up from a poor background, and now you need to prove to people, hey, I'm driving, hey, I live in this. So you'll spend
I
more
can afford
time.
this drink,
Yeah. So you'll spend a lot of it trying to prove that you're not poor. Yeah,
And a lot of times, even when you're trying to, that's when that can lead you down a bad road.
definitely.
Now, what was your breaking point? Yours, like in the sense that when you saw, here, I need to change. What happened?
Well, I think there was a time that things were really bad, and I had to scale down. You scale down to a small house, and I remember I give this story everywhere, because we were trying to scale down to a small house, and I was wondering what to tell my kids. From a 4-bedroom house to, in fact, my firstborn was where I was so concerned about it. And you know what the guy told me? Because I told him, Papa, we are going into this house for a short duration. It's only for a season, then we can go back. Then he's like, it is okay, Daddy. It is small, but that means we'll be close to each other.
Oh,
And since that day, and very few people will tell you that, because a lot of people are with you for what they can get from you.
True.
So one of the things I started doing is, first of all, letting everything crumble. If I needed to be auctioned, let them take whatever they need to take, and I start afresh, which is a very painful thing. It's like when an eagle gets old, it goes like on a, it retrieves to the mountains. That is where its beak, it hits its beak on the rock until it bleeds, until a new beak is formed, and the talons as well. He has to eat all the talons until they're over. That season for a man is where most men will get their breakthroughs, but also some will not make it out of it.
And what causes? Is it mostly like a mental? Most people will say you need to be mentally able to see your success. Is it Is it mostly switching your mental state, or is it now action state? Like you've now taken some actions towards even now seeing the success that you actually want, even as a man.
Well, I don't know. I could really speak for myself.
Okay, which one was it more? Was it what you're doing towards now, the action, or was it more like a mental switch for you?
For me, it was a mental switch in understanding where I'm going. Because sometimes you can have a vision and people can tell you, hey, we listened to you, I listened to you years ago, and now we would like to invite you and give you some gigs. And then you remember what you've been called to do. And that's purpose. So the Japanese call ikigai.
Yes.
That you have to know what you love, if you're good at it, is it a problem you're solving, and can you earn from it? So because that has happened for me, I was able now to sit down and start working on my cash flows. What can I be able to do here without having to invest more cash, using my talents and abilities to be able to generate something small. And that is what now the small money is. I keep saying this, you've heard me say this, that money does not stay where it is needed, it stays where it is respected. So the small monies that you're making, allocate them to recurrent expenses so that over time you're not accruing debt as you wait for the big deal that is coming, especially for entrepreneurs.
Yeah, that's true. Even that's a key thing. Even when you say about even debts and everything, some people would say, or and expenses. Some people would say being in a relationship is the expense in itself, and then now it's expense in itself, and especially even guys. Now, when it comes to even guys, would you even advise a guy who is broke to even think about even engaging in a relationship?
They say men we can't multitask, but depending on who that person, if you're allowing what your situation to define you, then mentally you're not prepared. I'm not interested in what you have in your pocket. I'm interested in what is in your head. Are you ready to convert anything? You understand? Let me give you an example. You could be even having money, but you don't have the confidence even to go into a relationship. So what happens? Those are the men that everybody will take advantage of. You understand?
Oh, the guys who are constantly to my fair.
Yes.
Where?
Yeah.
Oh, you're staying with
But,
this.
but we see why being mentally ready is important, because there are seasons.
I get you.
There are seasons. I will get married now that I don't have money, and probably I'm on my basic job, and probably not even getting married. Let's say I've started my career and I'm now earning some sort of income, and then you get married, you're really stable, and then what happens? A season comes where you can no longer afford the same thing. So what happens? So do you break? Do you break up? And that's why even the vows they say for. Hold on. I want to address this. For me, if you come to me, because a lot of men come to my office for financial therapy, I'm more interested in your way out.
Okay.
You get your way out of it. You see, you can be somewhere, but you're there permanently broke. You know, that's a whole different story.
Being permanently
But
broke.
you may have lost your job. Business may not be going well. But how do you adjust? Because that's what I even teach my kids. There are seasons that I'll tell them, oh, today we are doing something different. Why? Because they need to understand that there are seasons. I don't know your journey. Have you had a straight road?
No.
So then,
Exactly.
so why are we judging a man based on a season that he is in? But most importantly, and everyone should understand this, that once you understand your seasons, prepare for them. Don't have excuses.
No
Okay?
excuses
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Unless it's a marriage, if you need to put your relationship on hold because you feel like it's a burden or you've communicated, put it on hold. Whoever needs to leave will leave.
Wait, hold on. Pause for a second. I'm gonna grab a cookie on that one. Grab a cookie quickly.
Yeah,
And I want to invite you guys.
Yeah.
Hey, listen quickly. In case you is actually watching us, you want a product placement like this, even we can eat your cookies, we can drink your drink, whatever it is that you would actually want to engage with us, leave a comment right underneath there. We can actually place it right here on the NRG Lounge right here. As even some of our guests will even taste your cookie, whatever it is that you actually have to offer. So even when you're talking about even adjusting, even as a man, that the adjustment that you actually need to make, even if you need to like put on the shelf with a relationship. No, you're saying put a woman on the shelf, Apple. Now you think she's just gonna wait right there. That's also another thing, because now what happens
But you
is
see, now here's a challenge.
okay.
So if I'm at a season where, let's say I've even made a loss, we are in a season of mandamano and probably my business was not insured. So I'm restocking. And then if you can't understand, or we cannot have a conversation and see how to adjust together, then I don't want to look at you as a distraction. You build what you have to, let me build what I have to. But remember, relationships don't go wrong. They start wrong.
Can a relationship start wrong and actually end right? Because that can happen in the sense that you can meet in the wrong context, you guys in the wrong mindset, but you guys grow together as individuals and actually now mature into something that you actually now are partners in the same thing. So does it always mean that you have to start off the right way in order for it to end the right way?
You see, in this city of Nairobi, there are many buildings probably that didn't pass the safety test.
Of course.
And they're still standing.
For now. For now.
You get, so I'm not a relationship expert, but I'll tell you what, and this is for men, that the basic foundation is you have to set up the right foundation, mental foundation for yourself when it comes to money. And that means preparing for all seasons, understanding who you are. Because at the end of the day, if you allow so many things, if you allow what you can provide for a woman or for a child or for your parents, if you allow that to define you, the day you can't provide that, that's when you're finding a lot of men with mental illness, because you've allowed that to define you. But if I can be able to sit down and say, my goal is to support my children, my goal is to support my wife, my goal is to support my parents, what sustainable avenue can I take so that even the day that I don't have a lot of money, this can be met passively from other sources? You understand?
I get what you mean.
And once you have that kind of a mentality, anything along, any income that you get, any investment that you get, you'll always be focusing on that particular goal.
Then what is the proper way to define yourself as a man? Because, a lot of times as a man, even you define yourself based on what you've accomplished. And then now, like, I have done this assignment, hence now I'm putting my definition around this, and that's where I get my confidence from. So then the question even I would ask you is, how do you define yourself, you as Amos?
For me, I'd tell you is finding that purpose. My business is not about my kids. It's about a generation. I'm investing more on the apprentice that I have to build them to be doing what I do. Okay? So that if my kids don't choose to be talking to people, if my kids choose to pick their path, which I will support, my vision of having an impact when it comes to personal finances on people will still be on 100 years from now. Are we together?
Okay.
So my purpose is, first of all, whatever season I've gone through, can I put it and share that story with someone? Are we together? Can I raise a community of men who can actually be able to adjust when they fall? Rise up, and even when they're in their best of seasons, they're actually having impact on other men. The moment you understand that, it's no longer about your cash flow now. It's no longer about your image right now. It's about that bigger impact that you'll have for later.
Impact is a key thing, actually, when it comes to defining stuff. Now, when it even comes, you mentioned about even men, even how they reach out to you. How are your DMs looking? Because nowadays, you're also a content creator out here. By the way, he is. You should actually check him out. Also in his TikToks, he's out there giving various nice little nuggets about money. How are your DMs even looking like when people even reach out to you? And how do you know which ones to respond to?
Now, of course, I don't respond to the ones for HAE high.
Why is that?
Because I feel like everybody should have common courtesy of, I'm so and so, this is what I do. This is my question. Okay? But any other DM, I'll respond. So I get a lot of motivation when someone tells you, I needed that. That has changed something. Of course, there's business invitations. Do you give talks to this and this and this? So that's how it looks. But of course, there are others who will come in with very funny, DMs.
Like what?
Male and female.
Like, hey, I see you, what?
so those ones you like, some of them you quickly block because some of the things they send, it's crazy. Yeah.
Social media is a very interesting thing. Even as, because primarily even before social media, you're also doing your thing. Now you decided to jump into this. What have you seen has been the negative thing, that is negative aspect side of you putting content out there on social media?
Of course, you'll differ with people's opinion because money has a way of, someone can really have a different opinion over and above you, but which I take positively because I'm able to understand what the person is thinking about. The positive thing is that I earn from it. So
You're making that money. Now, I want to ask you as a quick wrap up, even as we finish up. By the way, guys, even this guy even writes even books for once. Yes, he has not hit arthritis yet. He's still able to write books. Congratulations, by the way. And then, and one thing even I just want to ask you is, what is one big mistake that you've actually made, but you're proud of?
Well, that's interesting. I think was to permanently quit my job. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
And
it was a mistake then because it messed up my cash flow. But looking back, I'm proud of it.
So quit your job. But before you quit your job, make sure you actually consume more content from Amos Galu right there. He actually has even I can even vouch for you, but I've gone to even one of his events. He was wearing shorts, he was kicking balls around. Remember you bought that little ball for us men to play on the rooftop?
No, you made it.
Yeah, we made it, by the way, we did. And you robbed our team for one thing, by the way. I still have beef on that. Make sure you follow him on all his social media platforms. Amos Gahu, Money Clinic is clinically. He will what do you call it, money clinic? Because it's a clinic which you can actually go to.
Money clinic, yeah.
Why do you initially just came across your head? It's like that randomly.
Yeah, it's where we try to fix your bad money habits.
fixing your bad money habits. That's indeed Amos Gaho. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. And for you right there, leave a comment underneath. Reach out to him. Anything that you actually need, if you actually want to engage with us in any form of way right here, Energy Lounge, we got you. Simon says, see you in the next one. Bye. Bye.
Energy Radio.